was a rainy night. In an old house in a small town, Nandini was in her 8th month of pregnancy. Her husband, Rohan, was extremely happy. Their first child was on the way. But for the past few weeks, something strange had been happening. Every night at exactly 2:17 a.m., Nandini would wake up. The room would be pitch dark, yet she could clearly hear it, the faint laughter of a child. She would wake Rohan in fear, but he never heard anything. One night, she had a dream. She was standing on a deserted road. In front of her stood a burned woman, clutching her stomach and crying. Smoke was rising from her charred skin. The woman looked at Nandini and said, "My child is inside you now." Nandini screamed and jolted awake. Her stomach was moving in an unnatural way, as if something inside was angry. Strange events began happening during the day as well. The mirrors in the house cracked on their own. The prayer lamp would extinguish itself during worship. The veins on Nandini's stomach started turning dark. One day, during an ultrasound, the doctor suddenly froze. On the screen, the baby looked normal, but for a brief moment its eyes opened, and it looked directly at the screen. The doctor quickly turned off the machine. "Everything is normal," he lied. Rohan's mother, who was deeply religious, finally broke down. She revealed that 25 years ago, a woman named Kali lived in that same house. People accused her of being a witch and burned her alive. She was pregnant. Before dying, she had said, "The child in my womb will live, and one day it will return." Rohan was stunned. 3 days before the delivery date, a violent storm struck. At 2:17 a.m., Nandini went into intense labor pain. The power went out. The doors shut on their own. Nandini collapsed to the floor, screaming in agony. Suddenly, the room turned ice cold. Shadows began moving along the walls. Nandini felt as if something inside her was trying to come out, but not in a normal way. She suddenly went silent. Her eyes rolled back. A few seconds later, the sound of a baby crying echoed. But it wasn't crying. It was deep, heavy laughter. The next morning, the storm had passed. Rohan was lying unconscious. The house was in chaos. Nandini was sitting on the bed, the baby in her arms. The child looked completely normal. Rohan slowly approached and, trembling, asked, "Everything's okay, right?" Nandini smiled, but her smile was strange. The baby slowly opened its eyes. They were completely black. And then, in clear words, the child said, "This time, I wasn't burned. I will burn." Blood splattered across Rohan's face. The screen suddenly went black. 1 year later, several houses in the same town have caught fire. People say before the fires start, they hear the laughter of a small child. The camera stops on a little boy who extinguishes a burning candle without touching it. His eyes turn black again. Cut to black.